gentle people, Rich here, HRV guy. So last month, well actually it was the beginning of this month, almost seems like a month. I went on a road trip with the HRV for the first time, and on my way back I actually got 500 miles on the tank, probably a little bit more than 500, and that was pretty amazing. So I'm going to show you parts of the video that I did while I was taking the trip, and actually show you the miles on the dash to show you that I actually got those miles. But I'm also going to share some tips with you on what I did to obtain 500 miles out of the vehicle. Hey there Honda fans, Rich here in the HRV. Just want to show you my current Drive Mpg in the HRV. You know the HRV is rated at 38 highway, but as you can see I'm getting 42.9 on my current drive, which is pretty good. Now this is driving without exceeding the speed limit or flooring it every time, you know, I take off. And as you can see, it keeps edging up. So now it's at 43. So I'm just gonna keep driving the speed limit and see how much of a mileage it goes up. And as you can see, my range has jumped up to 442 compared to when I first started. It says 376. So my range is increasing along with the fuel economy on the dash. HRV fans, as you can see, if you try to keep this ring as green as possible, it pays off over here, because I'm currently getting 44 miles per gallon on the HRV, because I'm trying to keep the ring as green as possible. That means not give it balanced gas, not flooring it all the time, and making sure I'm not just flooring it, stepping on the gas too much. So I'm balancing it out as I go along, and as you can see, I'm getting 44 miles per gallon on my current drive. But the key to this is keeping the gas pedal at a balanced level. Like I said, not too much gas and keeping it green. Of course, you know, you got to deal with hills and stuff like that, but the best thing to do is just slowly go up the hill, not floor it up the hill, which probably end up reducing speed, but that'll keep it not full red, because once you go to full red, then your MPG is starting to go down. So like I said, the key is keeping it balanced. And even though you're dealing with incline, you still have to figure out how to just not push the pedal all the way down, but a mixed blend. Because you know, sometimes mine turns orange because of green and red make orange. So I know when I'm in the orange, I'm giving it more gas, but when I'm in the red, I'm giving it all the gas I can give it to get it up the hill. So my final thoughts is the key thing is to keep it as balanced as possible. Try to keep the green, and watch those hills, because those are the ones going to get you, because you tend to give it more gas to maintain speed, but you really don't have to do that. You might have to just ease up off the gas, go maybe 5 miles per gallon less than the speed you're going. Like if you know you're on a road that says 65, you might drop down to 60 just to make it over that hump, and then you can go back to 65 after that. So that's my tip to get more MPGs. Might work in your car, but I'm currently driving the Honda HRV 2016. So you can take that tip from me. All right, talk to you soon. So based on what you see here, I should get about 500 miles out of this tank if I keep driving the way I'm driving, you know, not too heavy on the pedal, keeping it a little bit below the speed limit, like 2 to 5 miles. Lock it in, take it easy going up the incline instead of flooring it and forcing the car to go up the hill at the same speed. So these are little tricks I do just to see how much mileage I can get out of one tank of gas. This is like a test run. So based on the calculation of how many range I got left as far as fuel and how many miles I've done so far, if you add it all up, based on if I ran this thing all the way out to empty, I would at least get 500 miles with no problem. So that's pretty good. 500 miles out of a full tank of gas. HRV is doing real good, right? And all this is based on tricks that I've done, and I'll explain those in the video. Okay, I'm stopping for gas, and as you can see, I got 59 on range and 447 on miles. So if you add it up all together, I made over 500 miles if I continue going. But I don't want to risk it, because where I'm at, there's not too many gas stations popping up. So I'm stopping at this Shell to get some gas and just call it that I actually made it over 500 either way. So one of the main things I did was not to gun down the highway. You know, when you're on a long trip, it seems long and boring. And my trip this time was like 13 hours. I was heading down south. So there's points on the highway where you just want to push and get there. And I understand that mentality, because I've done it several times in the past. But this time I decided to drive speed limit, and most of the time maybe 5 miles below the speed limit. And with the combination of that, not using the cruise control, because the cruise control tend to rev up the engine when you're going up an incline and thus burn more gas. So with me controlling the acceleration going up the hill, I'm not gunning it like the cruise control will. So I was able to get more mileage out of the vehicle that way. So like I said, one of the key things is that I did was to drive at speed limit, or maybe 5 miles, maybe a little bit more below the speed limit. Not too slow where it looks suspicious on the highway where the cops might pull you over. But driving 5 miles below is not bad. I mean, if it's 65 and you're driving 60, no big deal. So like I said, the combination of, you know, all of that stuff, I was able to actually get 500 miles easily. And I was very impressed because I didn't expect it to get it out of this HRV. So my 2016 HRV is doing good so far. And I'm pretty impressed. Now it's hard to get that high mileage out of it when you're in a city because, you know, you got to stop, go, and that burns more gas just taking off. You know, but a steady ride down the highway, 500 miles, very impressive. Now, towards the end, before I actually hit the 500 miles, I had to stop and pull over and get gas because I wasn't going to run the thing out to zero just to prove that, you know, it actually said 500. But with what's left on the range compared to the miles I've done so far, actually add up to 500. If I had, say, spare gas in my trunk, I could have ran it all out to 500 easily and then just tap off with the gas in my trunk. But I didn't have any gas in the trunk, so I had to pull over. But like I said, with the difference and when you do the math, it's still equal to 500 easily. So my purpose of this video is to show that you can get more out of your car if you just drive decently. Of course, you know, it has to be well tuned, tires have to be properly inflated, stuff like that. But with this practice and this mentality is we going into the age where electric cars are going to be more popular as time goes by. So if we learn how to not push the pedal to the metal all the time, we actually can get more range out of not just a gasoline car, but also electric car. So it's just good practice. And I think for people to making that transition, they need to start practicing now, so when they get out there and own an electric car, it's easy for them to get more range out of their vehicle instead of, oh, I gotta find out where the next charging station is. So that's one of my things, because in a few years, maybe 4 years or so, I plan on getting an electric car. And I'm trying to learn how to drive more conservatively, so when I do get the electric car, I'm not gunning it every time the light change, or I'm trying to do 90 miles down the highway just for the thrill of it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it now. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was educational. I hope you realize that if you decide to get a Honda HRV 2016, that you can get a lot of miles out of it. And maybe when they come out of 2017, 2018, who knows? But this is not just a Honda HRV thing, it's like any car thing. I think you can get more mileage than the manufacturer rating of the vehicle. It's easily can be done, it just takes driving practice, driving normal, and handling your gas pedal more. So that's my video on gas mileage in HRV. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon.